morning and welcome. Today, I'll be interviewing someone important to me. She is a dedicated student who aspires to be a great and influential educator in the future. And so, let's welcome my younger self. Hi, I'm Eliza Yvonne Tomo, a student at the Philippine Normal University Manila from Uptech 121 and a future Bachelor in Social Science Education major. And it's an honor to share my inspiration and values in teaching as a future educator and as a pre-service teacher. Yes, I know it's gonna be fun to look back on how I view teaching and learning as a student, and it will be re-inspiring for me to see how I was able to achieve where I am right now. So let's start. Why do you want to teach, and is there someone who inspired you to become a teacher? Well, honestly, teaching is my second choice of profession. But as I look back and reflect on my deeds and achievements, I realize that I am somehow built to become an educator or a teacher. It's like my destiny is calling me. And I remember my grade 1 advisor, who is also a PNU alumni, always tells me that my potential is beyond what I can imagine. I want to be an educator, to also inspire and bring out the best in my future student. I want them to keep in mind that the hardship they face will be their strength in the future, as I do. So, what do you value or believe in teaching and student learning? Well, I believe that teaching and learning is a collaborative work. It means that the teacher and student should be a team to attain learning. The teacher should not be the only source of knowledge, but the students as well. And knowing the capacity of students will determine how the teacher will execute the teaching methods that she could be that is suitable for the student. And if the student and teachers act as a team, then the communication will be smooth sailing and learning will never be a burden for the both. If you can put your educational philosophy or teaching philosophy to a metaphor, what would it be? For me, if I could put my teaching philosophy into a metaphor, is that teaching is digesting. It's digesting what I have to learn so that I can be ready on the discussion inside the classroom. And for my student, they must be able to analyze and absorb the lessons so they can apply it to their lives and to gain knowledge as well. So now can you share to our audience our teaching philosophy and our values as an educator? I would gladly do so. As a future educator, I will have 3 values: respect, sensibility, and reliability. Respect, because it's the root of a healthy environment. I want my students to feel safe around me so that they can express their selves freely and also their thoughts and emotions. Next is sensibility. As an educator, our words and criticism can make or break a student, and to be able to build them as the best they can be, I want to always think about what they feel. I want to be careful of my words because this can leave scars, but at the same time, I want them to be open to criticism that will prepare them for the future. The last is to be a reliable teacher. In today's world, or maybe in the future, fake information continues to spread, and since I'm a social science educator, I want to be a role model in disseminating factual news and information. I also want to practice informative conversation so learning will be a give and take. My student will listen to what I know, and I will be giving time for them to share their knowledge or what they know. In order to assess what my students have learned, I will conduct a recitation or essay writing inside the classroom. I want them to take information on what they've learned from me, to look for information on their own, but always making sure that it's factual, and to give their opinions on certain topics. Quizzes and short examination that includes multiple choice and identification will also be a part of the weights of assessment. Since I will be a social science educator, my students must be able to answer with or without choices. My students will be a reflection of who and how I am as a teacher, and I will make sure that every time I teach, they can see the best of me so that they can also bring out the best while we are discussing. Well, I do believe that teaching and learning is directly proportional to each other. When we teach, we learn, and when we learn, we will be able to teach. I have been practicing to be a kind of teacher I want to be, and to see and to hear my student applying what they will learn or they have learned from me will always be an achievement of mine as an educator. It is just such a good thing to look back on how I was as a student and how the inang pamantasan honed me to have this burning passion to be a good and efficient teacher. Once again, thank you for sharing our teaching philosophy and education, and I'm sure a lot of people or students are more inspired because of the words. Once again, we are Eliza, Yvonne, Tomo from Batch Dilaab of the Philippine Normal University. Bye!